Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Kellen here from Starter Systems, and welcome to another edition of MXGP3 Career Mode, part number 3 today, and continuing on with the MX2 Career Mode. And I'm going to customize my bike today. I already did the rider last time, so let's work on this lovely KX250F that I have been developing. And, didn't know what was going on there. I just wanted to get the bike completely upgraded before I went into the next race, so let's take a look and put on our race tag gold valves. Indeed. Alright, that's working now. So now I can start manipulating some of this other stuff. Look at all the different bar companies in the game. I'll go with Pro Taper, because why not? I'll run the crossbar. Yep. And back. Should be able to, normally you can change the color, but doesn't look like I can for some reason. Okay. All right. Grips. Let's go with, like, I don't know, Pro Grip. Pro Grip's kind of good, I guess. I'm gonna go with these ones randomly. Sure. Bar pad. Alright, so this must be where you can... Oh, no. I guess you can't manipulate the color. Alright, handguards, maybe? Take a look at some handguards. Let's take a look at UFO handguards, I suppose. Put some white ones on. Why not? Exhaust already have on, tires already have on, rims already did, I think. Nope, I don't. I do not have rims on. Want to keep the rims black though, I think. Although a good white rim is always nice. Oh, and apparently the rims help handling, so let's go ahead and do that just to help out the handling. Suspension already taken care of. I already have disc brakes on. Sweet. All right. Fully updated the motorcycle, and it is time to move on into the next race here. So, the next race should be, don't know, going into it. Didn't tell me, I guess I wasn't looking. It's Valkenswaard, all right. The tricky Dutch sand track. Excited to see what this is like in-game, and to see whether or not the sand traction actually feels different or not. Yeah, alright, continuing on with MXGP3. As you guys remembered in my last video, I kind of went into the whole discussion about whether this game is good or not and why you should believe it's good or not. Obviously you can completely make your own assumptions based off of gameplay if you'd like, but my personal opinion about video games is always you should definitely play it at least once before you just completely write it off as bad. Holy cannolis, it's raining, and it's raining hard. Cool beans, we're starting way here on the outside because I have not selected full race weekend yet. Supposedly they're going to have a patch for that sometime soon where if you select full race weekend it doesn't skip the second race, because supposedly it would skip the second race and you wouldn't get the points for that. So I hear they're working on a patch. I don't know whether or not that's true or not, but something's coming. And until I hear of the patch and the official update and everything like that, I am not going to play full race weekend so that I don't lose the World Championship because of that. Tell you what, the ground is definitely pretty slippery with this nice rain traction that we've got going on here. Trying to use some different lines. You would think, given that Valkenswaard is a nice deep sand track, that when it rains, the traction wouldn't change that much. In fact, it would probably get a little bit grippier because water and sand mixed together usually makes a nice little kind of sticky dirt. If it's raining really, really intensely, I can understand, but most of the time a nice mixture of sand and water makes not necessarily dirt. Like that's kind of misleading. It's more of like just as kind of a grippier sand. So it'll hold you back a little bit more, but it also you won't slide around as much, I don't feel like, as you would in just sand. So that's a little bit different. got a decent start and went off the track in the third corner or so. So now trying to work my way up. Now that my bike is all the way improved, I'm really curious to see how hard it is to beat the guys in this, which seems like it's pretty difficult so far. At least I'm having troubles. Maybe I'm just terrible at the game. Who knows? That is a big finish line tabletop. Trying to keep my momentum up. It seems like in this 250 class, momentum is key. Like, you have to just be as wide open as you can all the time and not stop and go. You have to try to really hook the ruts quite well, which is good because in real life 250Fs do need to maintain their power in some shape or form. So I feel like that's kind of real, but it's unique that this traction does feel quite a bit different. Like, I've never played the Valkenswaard track in this game with just the regular traction or whatever, but it is really slippery. Like, it's not as slippery as you probably think, but compared to some of the other tracks that I've played in this game so far, this dirt is just like sliding around underneath me, and it looks like it should too. I mean, like, in my opinion, this sand should be deeper than it is, but just looking at this as if it was dirt, it looks like it should slide around a little bit more. I just got landed on by, I think that was Paturel that landed on me, so he's clearly going for it. So a little bit of unrealistic nature there where I just got straight up landed on and nobody got bucked off the bike or anything like that. Going for the pass on the only, well, now there's two Americans racing MXGP, but the only American that's actually in this game, other than for the Motocross of Nations stuff, Thomas Covington. Going for the pass on him. The other American, of course, now racing MXGP is Darian Sinai, racing for the Monster Energy Kawasaki team. Thomas Covington still racing in Europe on the Rockstar Husqvarna factory racing team, like he is in this game as well. Prior to that, he was on the factory Kawasaki team. It's interesting to me that Covington now rides for a Rockstar Energy-backed team, since his dad, Mitch Covington, is somewhat of a big deal within the Monster Energy corporate line. So I wonder how those family dinners go over when their son is representing pretty much an absolutely direct competitor to what his father is trying to do. Curious to know, of course. All right, trying to run down Jeffrey Hurlings at his home track in Valkenswaard in the rain. Sounds like a book made in heaven. Trying to use some different lines to catch up to him. I'm going to go off the track here. And it let me go off the track. That was kind of cool. I thought for sure I'd get reset, but I just held it on hoping, because I'm trying to win this race. And I'm getting close, but I don't think I'm going to get to him. I'm trying to use like off-track lines. Oh, I got to the inside. Let's see, am I going to out-drag him? I can't look back. Oh, I got him. I crashed over the line, but I still won the race. Look at me helicoptering all the way to the ground. That is absolutely hilarious how that crash just happened. And I got an achievement called the Flying Dutchman, which I assume means win Valkenswaard over Jeffrey Hurlings or something like that. But I literally looked like the Flying Dutchman doing some sort of helicopter dance move in the air. My rain ability just went up because I just won a race. So that's kind of cool. Traction definitely seems to be affected by rain in this game, although at Valkenswaard it should probably matter the least. So we'll go on to race 2 and see how I do in this one. So far, kind of stoked on that. And I'm also wondering how many GPs it'll be before I'm supposed to change sponsors, since I'm still with this beer Kawasaki. Just don't swing too wide there. Touched on this in the last video, but I am immensely happier with this game when it comes to contact with riders. That is the first time I've ever fallen off the bike in this game due to contact from other riders, and that was pretty much my own fault because I just drove it in there thinking, yeah, this will be no problem right here. Man, just 5th wicked in the mud. Little bit unrealistic. There'd be some deep ruts and some pretty impossible tasks of riding when it comes to rain races. So definitely going a little bit too fast. Pace of play definitely something that probably could be worked on in the future to at least make it look fast but slow the game down a little bit, because right now it is unrealistically fast for what motorcycles on a dirt track are capable of doing. All right, up inside of the top 10 after an abysmal start and a crash. Trying to use my rider input stick, which is the right stick, to get more traction either by leaning onto the foot pegs or leaning back. Oh, just got a swap coming into that corner and did not shift down, so I lost a lot of momentum. Fly through here, pardon me, gentlemen. Oh, Dylan Ferrandis coming in with the killer block pass. Of course, most American fans now know Dylan Ferrandis as the very fast Frenchman riding for Star Racing Yamaha. But in the 2016 season, he actually rode for factory Monster Energy Kawasaki MX2 in the GPs, where he promptly beat Jeffrey Hurlings a couple times before, I believe, breaking his arm at the Swiss Grand Prix. Don't quote me. And now he is racing in the States and, might I say, doing quite well. Winning his first career moto at Glen Helen a couple weeks back. All right, passing some more guys, using some different lines, trying to do some crossover lines. As I have noted a couple times, I've almost crashed from swapping. It seems as though when you cross over lines, it does actually affect you, not too badly, but you can't just come wheeling across a line without getting kicked some awkward way or the other. So that's a little bit unique, because most of the time I've seen some of these games where it's just like you can go anywhere on the track and it just lets you do that. This definitely isn't like 1,000 times better because of that. Like this still does have that a little bit where you kind of can go wherever you want, cross over ruts, whatever. But it does seem like crossing over ruts does hurt you a little bit. Definitely not the most helpful thing to do in this game. Just wicked on this 250F, trying to go as fast as I can. I do like that the AI seems pretty challenging, like still on realistic physics and difficulty. And these guys are not the easiest to beat yet. I mean, obviously my skills are still pretty subpar at the game, I would say, but I'm getting better as I play, and I feel like these guys are at least somewhat of a challenge. And for the average gamer and non-moto fan, they might seem to be too challenging, honestly, but that's a good thing, you know. You want something that is a challenge and they can understand that, wow, you know, this is how fast they could go in the game. Now I have passed for the lead, and I'm looking to go 1-1 at Valkenswaard in the rain. Someone asked recently on the channel if you can just come into corners and shift down as many times as you want, and it slows you down, and yes, you absolutely can do that. You pretty much just come in as long as you're grabbing some brake and just start clicking down through the gears. For those of you that are watching for the first time, I use manual shifting in this game. It seems like you just come to a complete stop, no problem, so that's kind of crappy, but you know, whatever. My handguards don't look dirty at all. That's interesting, given the fact that I was mid-pack most of that race. All right, so won this weekend. Moving on to the next one. Got some more credits, got some more reputation. My skills went up. 2 in the rain, 1 on each other element. I assume that you're trying to get your skills up to 100 at some point. So that's kind of cool. Let's take a look at interest and see if teams are interested in sponsoring me yet. 100% sponsors from all these guys down here at the bottom. So these guys are ready to go. They're ready to jump on board. At least in MX2 and MXGP, they're not quite there yet. But these are all the sponsors that are going to be available at some point. How about team interest? Well, it looks like all the teams at the bottom are obviously very interested. JTech Honda, the last of the teams that seems to be interested in me. Monster Energy, DRT, Kawasaki, but all the factory teams up here, or somewhat factory teams, are kind of just like, meh, we're thinking about you, but not quite, which is interesting because I'm killing all of their guys. Destruction. All right, let's move on to the next race, which is Nequin in Argentina. Kind of excited to play this track. See how this plays out. Intense action, MXGP of Argentina. Coming up next on Start Your Systems. All right, we're gonna go to the track. We're gonna start way out here as we normally do. So I'm holding in the clutch and trying to shift up a couple times before the gate drops, and it usually ends with me in first gear, although a couple times I've seen I end up in neutral, and I've seen some people complain about that where they're stuck in neutral as the gate drops. It's pretty much just, seems like if you're on manual shifting, hold in the clutch and just shift up a couple times just to be sure. And I haven't been stuck in a gear higher than first yet, but I mean, you might be. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Unrealistic right there. Landed on the back of Pat Terrell and did not fall. Just kind of rode out of it, no problem. Alright, tried to use the outside line, but that was crap. Apparently I should be using inside lines right there. Track seems a little bit dusty, even though I don't believe it ever got so in Argentina. This dirt is it's got like a very coarse texture to it in real life, like as if they ran it through a strainer or something like that to make it almost like a sand, but it's still kind of like a nice, good, tacky dirt. Seems like a really fun place to ride, and seems like it gets pretty good reviews from the riders as well. Alright, trying a different line on the right side of the track here and got bucked a little bit. Pat Terrell riding awful well right now. I'm going to get him. I'm going to jump over him. Got him. Alright, 1 lap in the books. No idea how long that lap time took me. I've been trying to keep a tab on lap times in this game because, as I mentioned in my last video, that I felt like the game was so much faster that lap times are now becoming unrealistic. That was a mistake on my part. And once you get to a realm where lap times compared to the real life track are super unrealistic, I feel like that's where major changes excuse me, need to be made. Like, just doing a broad comparison here for a second, but you know, it's not like you pick up F1 2017, the game, when it comes out, and you go to Monaco, where in real life they're running 110, 111s or whatever as the best possible laps, and you go to Monaco and you run a 59. You know, that's unrealistic. So obviously, if they're going to try to make a realistic game, it should be realistic lap times. I don't know if that's something that they should try to maybe work on when it comes to like making the tracks bigger, because it still seems like they're somewhat close to 1-to-1 scale with tracks, or if they should try to again slow the pace of play down. I've made mention a couple times that I think the pace of play being a little bit quicker is a positive thing that they improved on, because for new players playing a game like this, they'd obviously want to know that riding a dirt bike in a motocross track is something that's fast and challenging and hard to do, and if you make it look slow and boring, they're going to be less interested in it. So for the general fans, I think the pace of play is good. However, I think for us, you know, diehard moto fans, we want to see something a little bit closer to real speeds and at least real-ish lap times, not unrealistic, like 138.4. I'm almost positive that's not what they're running at Argentina. And I'm sure if I lay down an actual decent lap time as opposed to this bullcrap crash fest I just had last lap, it would be way different than that. So we'll have to see. Got to try to run down Patrell here, though. I'm running out of time. He decided to go outside here, so I'm going to use the inside. And it is unbelievably faster. Running him down. And he is my rival this weekend, it seems, as he has got some red name over him. Someone requested in my last video that I turn off the names, but since I'm still new to the game and I like to keep it as standard as I can, I don't want to change too much up about it. Damn, I just nailed that section. Did a little tire tap at the beginning there. Popped up onto that second tabletop, no problem. And made a nice little comfy pass on Patrell, and I think it's going to be good enough to notch me the win, although if I screw it up here in the last corner, that's not going to be good, and I just hang on. He was a little ways back, I guess, so it doesn't matter that much. Rocking that red plate, though. Killing it. All right. Tango at Nekuin just got another achievement, or whatever, trophy, whatever. My skills keep going up, and we'll do race 2 at Nekuin, and that'll be it for this episode. However, I'm going to go all the way back into the menu because I have a feeling that my sponsorship might be up after this. All right, we're starting another 30 feet back from the gate, so here we go again. I remember in the last game, too, that you could pretty much like time starts and just get gnarly hole shots. Holy crap. Okay, just coming down from the sky up here. And so far I either have not been able to do that anymore, or they have improved the way starts are and you actually have to get like really good time jumps and good traction off the line to get a hole shot, because I'm no longer getting good starts from the outside like I was able to in the previous game. Later thing. Oh, I just took him out. That was brutal. Just came across the track and wrecked him. Alright, so now that I've got the lead, I'm just going to try to check out because I've yet to do that really. In a race, I've just floundered my way back into the mid-pack and then charged forward before. However, I have not got a good start and just checked out with it yet. So it's going to be a little bit boring here down the stretch unless I start putting in just burner lap times, at which point it might be a little bit more interesting to watch. Alright, pulling away, nice and comfy, and even though this lap time doesn't count, I just ran a 130, so almost into the 129s on this track. Can't wait to start playing online a little bit. I'm sure at some point during this week we'll announce on Twitter, Facebook, or whatever that we're going to do a live stream. At least I hope so. You know, a little bit late night live streaming, or maybe early in the afternoon live stream. Doing some multiplayer racing in this game that will of course go up on YouTube as well. But the goal is to try to get some of our fans, subscribers, whatever, in and doing some racing with me and maybe some of the other SYS members. Either our tech savvy guy Nate starts playing with us, or Jeremy's around and plays as well. Not too sure yet, but hopefully we get that down this week. Do want to do some multiplayer sooner rather than later. And I love playing with our fans in whatever game it is, whenever I can. So keep an eye out on our Twitter and Facebook, which you can click and like or follow in the description below. There's always a link to it. Also, personal links to my stuff and Jeremy's stuff as well if you want to follow us individually for whatever reason. Meanwhile, I'm just going to continue checking out here in Argentina. The waiter must have come by with our receipt, because we're checked out. All right, 129 flat. So of course you can run under the 130 mark in this track, which is kind of insanely unrealistic, but as I said, not looking too deep into the lap times is an issue. I think that, you know, they tried to work on gameplay improvements where they could. When it came to adapting the game to the Unreal 4 graphics engine, they probably spent a lot more time on that than they did physics improvements, but the stuff that they did improve I like so far, so we'll see if, you know, they maybe patch some stuff to slow the game down, or if when they hopefully come out with a new title next year, you know, gameplay is the next big thing that they're going to work on now that they've got the Unreal 4 engine worked out the way that they want it to. Coming down the hill, hitting the big jump. This is like a pretty good lap so far. Kind of interested to see where it turns out. Wonder if you could triple that too. I'm gonna try to get this section a little bit cleaner because I have yet to do it. Nope, not this time. Oh, get onto that table. Oh man, just getting all kicked. Oh, a little short on that double. And just missed out on bettering my lap time, but pretty much ran 129s back to back. Checked out by a mile and won that thing, so that's the first time that I've really seen the AI just be kind of irrelevant. Yeah, they were way back there. Alright, so move on. And move on. Won this GP. World Championship lead still stretched out pretty nicely. And abilities continue to rise. Level 52 in everything but rain ability. I like that number. 52 is a good number. Okay, so nothing doing when it comes to interest from sponsors or anything like that, although all these guys are pretty much about on board with me. So cool beans. I will leave it at that. That's going to be it for another episode of MXGP3 Career Mode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I'm going to start working on some other stuff coming into the next video. And hopefully we get a sponsor change soon, or maybe get onto a factory team so I can get an idea of whether or not you can customize stuff more in this game as opposed to MXGP2. But thanks for watching another video here on the channel. If you guys liked it, please comment, like, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. We really appreciate everybody that comments on our videos and lets us know your thoughts and opinions as well. So thanks for watching another video, and for Kellen here on Start Your Systems, we'll see you guys in the next one.